Welcome to JsGrassFedGarden. This is a quick little update. I've been talking about getting some cover on these making a low tunnel with these little hoops that I created with just like some electrical conduit piping, and cut them. There were two, what did I have? I had three 6-foot or three 10-foot pipes, and I cut them all into 5-foot lengths and bend them over with some rebar. And yeah, so now with this cover being on, it will not only protect from frost, but as we've seen, the stuff that I have planted is frost hardy. It could withstand frost, but by not taking any frost whatsoever, this will help the greens that are in there. We have some, you can go to the previous video to see what that looks like in there, but some lettuce seedlings coming up, just starting, some wasabina greens, like wasabi heat greens, two different kinds of kale, I believe like the dazzling blue and the dinosaur kale. Then some Mizuna Asian greens and some red giant mustard greens, all inside of there. So as long as the snow doesn't weigh it down, and when it does snow I will come out here to clean off the top, that we will have fresh greens. And I can see like right there on the side the greens are touching the fabric, so I'm going to want to harvest those greens that are touching the fabric, because when it does get cold, if the leaves freeze to the fabric, then, or if they're touching it when it gets that cold, that will basically burn the leaves. So what I did is it was really cool. I ordered this from one of the seed companies that I get from, and the length that they sent me, it was 12 by 7 feet, just happened to work exactly what I needed. I knew the 12 foot would be good for the length, but I didn't know on the width if the 7 would be too much. I was just gonna cut it, but it ended up being the perfect amount. So what I did is on this west side, I put wood chips to weigh it down, all down and around the other side. One thing I'm thinking that I would do differently, but I'm probably not going to, is see how the hoops are standing up. They're more straight on the back, and then towards the front, this one is not in as much as those, so it's a little bit wider, so that's why it's not looking as straight, because that one, that'll be good for the snow will just fall off the side. But with this one, the snow is just gonna, so maybe it's in my best interest to move this one a little bit closer together. Maybe I will, but I just got it all nice and dialed in, and I didn't really want to mess with it any further. So it's wood chips all the way around the back, and then I have rocks along this edge. What's growing up in the back is the lettuce seedlings. Those won't be ready for a few months, and then I can harvest from the Mizuna Asian greens as those come to their maturity. So one love wholeness, get some protection. If you get some protection on your plants, you can take it through the whole winter. A big inspiration behind this is Elliot Coleman, and he figured out how in Maine on the 41st or the 41st or 42nd parallel that you can grow food year-round with just 2 layers of cover. So right now this 1 layer of cover takes it, what do you say, like 2.5 growing zones south or something. So these plants on the inside are in Connecticut. So I'm in southern Vermont. That's about like 3 hours south. Then if you go, what do you say, I don't know, it's around that, just so you get the idea. But then so if you put a greenhouse on top of this row cover, then the plants that are inside this row cover and then covered by another greenhouse are in Georgia. That's how hot it would get on the inside of the low tunnel. So some food for thought, inspiration, my observations, and my actions. So one love, wholeness. Thank you for your support. And it's a quick update video on, and I will keep updated on how the crops inside do through the wintertime and the cold temps. Also, just quick key point to mention, the key to doing this is starting your plants months in advance, you know, or having quick growing cut and come again greens that so everything has grown up to its maturity in there, and I'm just gonna be harvesting. So if you had just planted seeds now, October 8th or 10th, on November 4th we go below 10 hours of daylight. That's slightly different depending on what region you're in. And once it goes below 10 hours of daylight, the growth of plants stops until it goes above 10 hours again around February 4th. So you just have to grow everything up, then you're just harvesting. But then since everything has established root systems, in February when the light comes above the 10 hours again, it will start to regrow. Spinach is very good for that. So one love, wholeness, and keep you updated. Peace.